Good morning, students. Today's topic: why power sharing is desirable. There are two reasons why power sharing is desirable. The first reason is moral reason. Moral reason, the reason on which we cannot give logic, but still it is very essential. It is necessary. In this, there are the points which we can mention in this. First, it is the very spirit of democracy. A democracy is democracy only if there is proper power sharing. Without power sharing, a democracy cannot work at all. Then, people should have the right to be consulted. Suppose if a person is living in a country, he is giving vote, he is having right that the government should ask him. Without his permission, yeah, we can say like approval, how government can rule. Long back, the many philosophers also said that there is a social contract between the person who is ruling and those who are being ruled, yeah, affected by the rule. So here the people have a right to be consulted. Next is the participation of citizens. Participation of citizens will increase, then only proper democracy can work. More and more people should take part in the decision making. Then the second reason are prudential reasons. Prudential reason means those reasons which are based on logic, that means calculation of profit and loss. The first, it ensures stability of political order. A government will remain stable only if there is power sharing. We have read in the chapter also the two stories. In Belgium there was power sharing, so the government was stable, there was no conflict. In Sri Lanka there was civil war because they have not adopted power sharing. Second, it reduces the possibility of conflict between the social groups. If power sharing is not there among the social group, there will be conflict between the social group. This group will fight against another group. So this is also one problem associated with if there is no power sharing. And the third reason, tyranny of majority. That means tyranny word means whatever the majority want. If the majority is doing that, that means the government is doing that. That means minority will be not happy, and ultimately a day will come, the minority will revolt against the majority, and this will disintegrate the nation. Clear? Now, in the next part of the chapter, that is forms of power sharing. That means there can be 4 different types of power sharing in a democracy. The first kind of power sharing, that is among the organs of the government. In the previous classes also you must have read that there are 3 main organs of the government. First is legislature. Legislature means all the elected representatives are in this. That is generally we can say parliament. Second is executive. Generally the ministers come in this category. All the ministers, finance minister, defense minister, home minister, all are in this category executive. And third is judiciary, that is Supreme Court, High Court. So these are the 3 organs of the government. And this kind of power sharing is known as horizontal power sharing. Horizontal means all are at the same level. Neither this is above it, nor neither. All are at the same level. That's why it is known as horizontal. Suppose if any minister is not working properly, the minister can be removed either by judiciary or legislature. Against the prime minister also there can be no confidence motion. That means executive, which appears like it is having maximum power, but it is controlled by legislature. It is controlled by judiciary. Even the decision of the executive and legislature can be changed by judiciary. In 9th class we have read one chapter, working of institution. In that there was a major decision taken by the central government was challenged in Supreme Court. Indira Sahni and other versus Union of India, and the government had to change the decision. That is, these are at the same level, and this system is known as inbuilt system of check and balance. Previously also in exam this question was asked. That inbuilt system of check and balance means power sharing among the organs of the government. Coming to the second, among the levels of the government. In this, they are not at the same level. There are three levels of the government. The first level, union government, generally which we call central government. Normally we call central government. Second is state government, we call it, otherwise it is provincial government. So these are at the second level. And third is local self government, municipal corporation or panchayati raj system come in this category. This is vertical power sharing. That means union government is having most of the power because it is for the entire country. It is having a big judiciary of its own. Then the second level is the state government, which is having comparatively less area under its control, and day-to-day administration they will take care. National policies will be made by union government, and local self-government, the local issues will be settled by this level of the government. This is the third type. So these are the three levels of the government, and this is vertical power sharing. That was horizontal power sharing. So in 1 mark question also it is asked which is horizontal and which is vertical power sharing. Now coming to the third, that means among the political parties, pressure groups and movements. Political parties, as you all know, Congress, BJP, Aam Aadmi Party, Samajwadi Party, these all are political parties which take part in the election, they contest election. If voted to power, they can form government. Pressure group, these are also group of like-minded people of similar ideology, but they will never contest election. Political party will always contest election. So political party contest election, form government, but pressure group do not contest election. So this is the basic difference between these two. Third is movement. Against a particular issue, when people come together and they launch a movement. All these are also allowed in a democracy. This is like a constitutionally they are given right. It is not wrong to pressurize government or launch a movement, but it should be in the constitutional framework. It should not be violent. Now, they control and influence those in power. Whichever government is there in power, the pressure group can pressurize that this decision was wrong, you have to change this. Even political parties oppose sometimes whenever they feel that the decision taken by the government was not appropriate. So they can oppose and at least they can control and influence the government. Next, competition among the political party. Those who are in power should always have a fair chance of losing. That means there should be free and fair election. Every political party should get equal opportunity. All the ideologies which exist in the constitutional framework should have equal opportunity to come in power or form government. And this will control the government also, because every government will also be in the fear that they can lose elections also. Next, political alliances. These political alliances are generally made before election also and sometimes after election, and normally we call it coalition government. When a single party is unable to prove majority, many parties come together to form government, and this is known as coalition government. Presently, the government which is in India, National Democratic Alliance, it is an alliance, coalition government. Before it, there was UPA government, United Progressive Alliance. So that is coalition government. These are also given right, they are having right to form such alliances. Then interest group. Interest group means if a trade union feel that a particular policy of the government is against them, it is not correct, so they can also pressurize government. So such groups which are based on a particular interest, it can be union of this category of worker or that category, or particular traders, are known as interest group. Then the fourth kind of power sharing, the last, among various social groups. Social groups can be based on religion, social group can be based on language. Government has given them also equal opportunity, they can like come in the mainstream, should get equal power. There are two examples which you have to mention in the answer. First, community government in Belgium and the system of reservation in India. Like those who are backward, yeah, those who have not got the proper opportunity, government is giving them some preferences by this method. In Belgium, the German speaker people were less in number, French speaker were comparatively less. So in community, the government, they were having opportunity to come in the main scheme. They should not feel that they are not considered equal. They should be given equal opportunity. So these are the four kind of power sharing. Generally, a detailed question is asked on this, and these are the value points which you have to mention. Clear? I hope you must have understood these things.